just going to be like, okay, guys, let's just win lane win game. Let's just do it. Let's 20-minute try and win this game. See if we can get the shortest game. Exactly.
Let's go.
We are going to get into picks and bans. Casting ban once again from Team RB. No surprises there against Scarlet. And Origen will have to look towards that Zac ban as expected.
Yeah, they don't not ban Zac. They don't not ban Caitlyn. They have to ban Zac Caitlyn at least. That's or Thresh even as well.
Yeah.
This is interesting because there's so many things that you need to target for RB. Like Rakan would likely be a ban here for Origen. I like to lean forward when I'm looking at champions.
Fine, mate. That's all right. Jack's ban.
Jack's ban for Dan. That didn't come out in the previous series, I don't think. But
so I think it's because Origen have last pick here. So you ban it away. You make sure you can't get the counter pick out, and it just removes that option from Dan.
Well, Team RB should be able to get their hands on the Caitlyn or the Rakan. You imagine Caitlyn would be the ban for Origen, which means Rakan is up for grabs for RB. But what you might see here is RB ban something like the Thresh on their side, so you don't get the trade-off. Nope, they'll just ban the Vladimir.
I don't think they minded playing Thresh into Rakan.
No, exactly. Well, I think in this case, if you leave open the Thresh and Rakan, you might just give Thresh back over to Kasing, and then he's happy to give Rakan over to Illusionist.
I would completely agree, but the one thing that Origen do have is that bottom lane synergy from Neon and Illusionist, in all honesty. So I think prioritizing that lane is going to be pinnacle to their composition, but banning away that Thresh does leave open the Caitlyn, and I can't imagine they're not going to lock it in. It's such a power pick right now, easily one of the most broken ADs.
Yeah, definitely incredibly strong right now. We did see War manage to lose with it earlier, but you know, they did have a potential to come back. They just kind of threw that away. And Caitlyn is a pretty solid lock-in here for Cedric. Doesn't really have too many bad lane matchups. He's very lane dominant. OG, we didn't talk about...
OG as well.
We didn't talk about the fact that it means nothing to OG now, so, you know.
The pride of the organization.
Yeah, that's true.
Still there to some degree, although it has fallen from grace to a massive scale across the last couple of years. It's going to be the Gragas lock, probably going towards the jungle, but is a flexible pick. Could go towards top.
Do you see Dan as a Gragas player?
Strangely enough, I don't.
Do you see him as a Lee Sin top player?
No.
Yes.
No, he doesn't split. Lee Sin has to join the team. Has to snowboard.
He just 1v1 Lee Sin the entire time. Rakan does get locked in for Illusionist here, so they are going to make sure that you can't have that duo in the bot lane here for Kasing and Cedrian. And you imagine Zani will be taking the Gragas as he's favored Gragas so heavily in most of his previous matches, so that makes a lot of sense.
Caitlyn Braum here for Team RB. Pick up your jungle alongside it, makes it relatively safe lane, really easy to play as well as the Caitlyn Braum, quite abusive. You can get a lot of damage down with the concussive blows as well.
I like the Caitlyn Braum lane. It's pretty solid, like you said. Lots of options open for the bot lane still, though. We've seen Caitlyn Lulu, you know, we've seen loads and loads of different options that you can see enacted. But I think, you know, Kasing does like playmaking, support plays. So, you know, I wouldn't even be surprised to see him bring out his Zilean for a bit of fun here.
Caitlyn Zyra.
Caitlyn Zyra, yes.
Play a lot of Zyra as well.
Absolutely. I just don't think you miss up on the Braum. You definitely lock it in. Even though maybe you're having a little bit of fun, but do you know what is really fun? Just winning your lane and smashing it. So,
do you know what is fun? Winning games.
Winning games, exactly. So Braum makes a lot of sense in that respect, but does leave the Kalista open.
Yeah, it's going to be Kalista alongside the Rakan. A matchup that's kind of contesting with the Kalista Thresh as the strongest support AD carry matchup in with that Fate's Call, because you can chuck people in, and then he can quickness straight away, and then he can get the knock-up. It makes it a lot more easy for the Rakan. He doesn't have to set himself up. Second ban phase is going to come out, and once again, Origen get rid of the Syndra. And
you imagine RB are likely going to cut out some of the mid lane picks for Scarlet that haven't already been limited. I think there's one more pick that we were saying that he does like to touch on. We've got the Syndra, the Cassiopeia, yeah, maybe they ban out that, and then they might limit something for Dan.
Next, what do you think RB are going to get rid of apart from the Cassiopeia? What's the second ban? Do you look towards Dan? Do you get rid of, I don't know, Kennen? Fiora,
there's too many other.
No. Just naming all the champions.
Too many picks open. Too many picks open for Dan for you to limit that. I think you just say maybe ban something that Thal doesn't want to play into. If there was a game for Thal to pick his Jace, by the way, just why not just bring it out this game when it doesn't matter as much?
You were the one who said they should play normal style, which means that Thal has to lose lane. That's the way it works for Team RB.
Lose lane, win game.
Yeah, I think it was actually negative KDA at the end of that game as well. It's just doesn't need to be with the team.
Just a Thal thing.
Just Thal things, yeah, absolutely. Magifelix could go back to his old faithful in the Rise, something we haven't seen a lot of as of late, but maybe something he wants to pull out now would be very interesting to see that. But
actually,
I was joking, but that's actually a Yasuo
ban.
RB obviously respecting what made them struggle last game. Origin now probably going to pick their mid laner, or what are we looking at here? Orianna? Basically the only option
It's basically
left
the only thing that
alive.
Scarlet likes to pick up, and if he doesn't pick that now, you potentially give it away to MagiFelix.
I would also say Talia would be another big pick. It's another safe mid laner, so they do have that.
Okay.
Now, this was picked in NALCS. Huhi picked the Vel'Koz, and they beat FlyQuest with it. FlyQuest not the toughest opponents for CLG at the moment, who are riding high, but Vel'Koz, very powerful, very solo Q-esque, incredibly strong.
Yeah.
It also puts a question mark in MagiFelix's head and says, oh, I've never played against Vel'Koz, or at least a lot of Vel'Koz, so it can lead to a little bit of disrespect to that champion. So that's another reason why it's kind of picked up. Huhi, though, you know, he does pick Aurelion Sol a lot of the time as well, so kind of coming out of left field.
Bit more of an interesting pickup there for... Now, this Galio could be mid or top at the moment. You don't know, because we've seen Galio make a lot of moves towards the mid lane, especially in Korea. You do feel there'll be a lack of damage, and there we go. The game that we wanted to see. Thal pick his Jace up in. He picks it up, and that's going to be MagiFelix taking the Galio mid to be the tank. And it's going to be Neon going up against Galio in the lane on the Vel'Koz.
Here's the problem I have with the Team RB composition. It's really slow. Like, I think it can work late game, but if Origin get ahead at all, the scaling from RB, it's very late game. They need to get to like 25, 30 minutes to actually be doing any damage at all. Whereas Origin have this composition. Kalista Rakan's really good. They've got Zed top
It might be
into
Zed
the
mid, you
Jace.
never know.
No, you don't play Vel'Koz top
You
into a
could do, why-
J6 Scoundrel. Come on.
Why not?
That's a ludicrous matchup. I thought you were an analyst.
Well, I've just put Zed against the Galio, I suppose.
I'm teasing.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's just as powerful as the Zed top, but it's going to be.
As you say, neither of them are very powerful.
I have no idea, in all honesty. There's no Duskblade, of course. Well, there is. It exists, but it's not as good as it is on 7.14. It's going to be Zed top into the Jace. It's the matchup we've seen more in the mid lane than in the top lane.
Yeah.
It is poor for Jace, especially post 6. Depends on what Jace picks up, but this is going to be very interesting, this top lane matchup. I think, again, you are getting the indication that this is going to be split push focus from Dan. As per usual, you've got great wave clear with Scarlet.
Well, when Zed gets ahead in mid lane, what
he
do?
does.
You put him into
Split
a
push,
side lane
yeah.
and split push because he can assassinate anyone.
Oh, wait, guys, I'm already here. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
You got
I'm
double
glad they haven't put him mid, because imagine a Zed into a Galio.
Oh.
It's just like you jump in, immediately taunted, immediately knocked back.
Yeah.
How are you ever going to kill him?
You're
double teleport coming out from RB as well, by the way. So
I have no idea what to make of this game now.
No. I mean, we did kind of say, are either of these teams going to go, you know what, let's just play fun champions.
I think Dandan's just annoyed at the Runan's nerf to Kennon's. It's like, guys, come on, I can't play Kennon anymore. What can I play now?
Zed.
Zed, only Zed.
Clearly in his arsenal. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Not something we've seen as of late.
I realized we didn't do predictions before the last game, so literally last game of the summer split. What are our predictions, guys? Jaws?
I think RB 2-0.
Okay.
Yes.
I would be surprised if any other results were RB2.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so boring.
I want to, trust me, I want to see Zed.
No, wait. No, Aaron made me promise OG. So
Oh,
OG.
yes, you said OG 2-0, didn't you?
Ah.
Yeah, oh, so we did do predictions. I've just totally forgotten them.
I said RB
yeah.
2-0, and you said, oh no,
yes,
Excalibur, you always get it wrong.
I
so.
asked for predictions,
Oh, yes.
and then I kept bugging Excalibur about being wrong. So
Okay.
I'm going to go OG 1-0 in this final game.
Why not? You got a Z top. Just do it.
Might as well call it. And I don't think anyone will look down on me for getting it wrong.
I tell you what,
I think
gentlemen,
they
you will have fun with this game. As the last game of the Challenger Series split, this is going to be quite explosive. We've got some interesting picks coming through. Dan, obviously, the camera, as always, would panned onto him on the OG lineup. He kind of does draw that natural attention to him when he picks these kind of top laners. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this game. I think it might be a bit clowny, but you're going to have a lot of fun.
And we are going to get onto the Summoners Rift for the final game of the European Challenger Series Summer Split. Thank you very much for your assistance, Excalibur. We'll see you back in about 25 to 30 minutes or so as we look to see what RB are going to start off with. They want to catch Dan. They're pinging. They want him. Dan has got flash. He's made his way all into... Are they going to check the bushes? No, they're invading completely. They have pinged for the full invade. Oh, Dan. You could have been awful.
Lucky sod is
Lucky man in the top lane.
is the correct word I think you're looking for there.
Is the Galio going to get away? They're sneaking their way around. Team RB, hide in bush. And as we see the RB stalk its prey
I wonder who laughed
in
there,
the
but it was
savannah,
Caitlyn.
in the jungle. Zani, the zebra, waiting in the next bush. Unseen by this pride of bulls. However, he's now going to get spotted, and they lay in wait, ready to strike, ready to pounce at a moment's notice. Can they jump onto this Gragas, the fat man? Alcohol content of about 1% for the time being, as RB look to sup on some delicious wine from that keg. He lays it down. Hop it goes, RB waiting for the perfect moment to the sky. Wind of war, Zani flashes the wall and escapes.
Oh no, RB. They take away the camp, which is the most important thing, but that couldn't have been a better start, in all honesty, waiting for the Gragas. He does buy the flash, which is extremely pinnacle for his early game, but
here's the thing as well. Dan didn't like force push the wave or anything, so he's actually on equal CS with Tal. For a moment there, he hadn't got any of the CS, and Tal will be able to just farm up the wave as it pushes in. He might lose 1 or 2, but Dan doesn't get a huge advantage in the top lane. Magic Felix struggling a little bit as Skarlet does get the harass down with that level 2. He's gone Corrupting Potion. I think a lot of the action is going to be focused around the bottom and the top lanes. Don't expect too much from mid.
no, I don't even want to look at mid. Not going to be any kills early on, although Illusionist is going to get stunned up. It's going to be about it, but it's all going to be about the top lane. Let's be honest with ourselves.
We hope.
Yeah, we hope, right? That's the key word.
All in him, Tal. You can do it, I believe.
Just want to see them all in each other, in all honesty. We'll have to wait and see. I want to know how many games Dan's actually played on the Zed.
Look up his OPGG. Sort of thing. Do it right now, mate. It's fine. We'll find out. I would have liked to see him take Ignite just for the true top lane potential. Skarlet has gone to Barrier instead of the teleport, so trying to keep himself a little bit safer in that lane. Dan getting all in by Tal. This is why you fear the Jace. He has to flash away as Tal forces him back. This is the thing with the Jace. Like, although maybe you'd lose out if it was a pure melee, Jace can just pop that hammer form, go to Mercury Cannon, and say, okay, I'll just harass you from range. Right, see what you can do with those Razor Shurikens from there.
I mean, that's the disadvantage of having the melee into the ranged matchup of the Jace. Already ahead on CS.
This is a dive.
Oh, Muujin, leave the poor boy alone.
Here we go. Dan no flash. Has a shadow, though. We'll try and use it. Muujin not taking tower yet. It's Dan. And look at the moves. Look at the plays. Dan in the top lane escaping for Muujin and Tal.
Don't think that was quite the most epic spectacle, but Zani is actually going to meet Thal. Hasn't got flash, though.
Zani, body slam. No, doesn't even use it.
No.
I would have used it just thinking, okay, Tal's going to have to flash here if I use this to go in. He's got no mana, no way of escaping. Might as well try. Push advantage in the bot lane for Neon and Illusionist. As RB just try and farm themselves up. It's a later game scaling composition. We talked about it a little bit in picks and bans. They want the Jace to get to a couple of items, they want the Caitlyn to get to a couple of items, and they want to get Illusionist down, but he will use that Gleaming Quill to heal himself back up.
Yeah, he's going to be nice and healthy for Neon, and this is a composite... Did you mean step in that trap, Neon?
Yep, 100% planned.
100%
Sometimes, you know, it's like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, he needs a little bit of a cupcake, he needs a little bit of dinner, it's only 7 o'clock at night.
very painful cupcake you stepped on, but getting rid of the traps is very important to this matchup. And let's have a look where Zani and Muujin are going to want to path it. In fact, actually, tell you where they're going to path.
Flashed away. Illusionist no flash as well. Neon is a dead man. First blood to Cedric.
Oh boy. Nice telegraphed and coordinated gank. I mean, Neon and Illusionist pushed way too far up for way too long to not be capitalized on by Muujin. Picks up the first third, and most importantly, it does go over to Cedric, with Kasing only bowling the flash and exhaust, whereas Illusionist did blow that flash earlier on, and Neon blowing that flash as well. So, yes, they kept the heal, but Zani still trying to make plays in this top lane. He wants to get Dan ahead, but right now, Thal is just not letting that happen. Already a small CS lead for him as well.
Look at the CS lead in mid as well. Magic Felix is about 15 farm ahead of Skarlet, who's really struggling on this Vel'Koz to actually farm himself up. Tectonic Disruption is not the name of that skill. Tectonic Disruption is the knockup. It's Plasma Fission is the Q. I can't remember what the liney one is.
The liney one.
Yeah, not the life form disintegration rate, not the other one.
I know what you mean.
It's like Plasma Shift, Void Shift.
Void Rift.
Void Rift.
There you go. Thank you, Observer. We got it right in the end.
His name's John.
Thank you, John. Observer John. But to be fair, Vel'Koz's not something we usually see. And
There's
Mujin,
no flashes for this bot lane of OG.
Illusionist in a bit of a sticky situation. In
He
fact,
doesn't realise it yet.
I know.
He doesn't know that Mujin is just waiting. Magic Felix is on his way as well.
About it.
Illusionist needs to
Blast
magic
Code.
his way out of this one, and he doesn't quite get away. Kasing with a Winter's Bite to the face.
Man, that hot fireplace just leads to Illusionist going back to base. And now already with 2 kills under their belts. Oh, Cedrian taking them one-on-one with Neon. Neon, don't want to be there, buddy, because you know there's
He hasn't got
there.
flash. He has got heal to
he's got
try and
heal,
jump
though.
away. Concussive blows, can't quite proc him. Cedrian used the heal for the chase. Zani's on his way here as well. Do you realise it's a 3v1 if you go in, Zani? I think he's realised it now as Mujin and Kasing path up into the river. 1,500 gold lead for RB, only 7 minutes in. It's a pretty beefy gold lead for them, and a pretty beefy Galio in the mid lane as Magic Felix picks up his Spectre's count.
Yeah, the key thing to pick up on in this matchup actually with the Vel'Koz and the Galio, it's going to be easier for Skarlet to punish Magic Felix the later the game goes on because of the passive, the true damage after the 3rd proc.
Organic deconstruction.
That's the one. Organic deconstruction. So it's going to be fairly easy for him to punish him. Kasing, I mean, every support seems to be overstepping their mark a little bit, but they're just going to taunt at each other and just a bit of due. But that is going to be easier for Skarlet to punish him. And in fact, Zani going for a turret dive here.
Didn't jump in. There's the hero's entrance onto Tal. The knock-up. That's a dead Zani and a dead Dan and a dead OG top and the mid lane. Top and jungle, sorry. And RB now 4 kills up, 3,000 gold ahead as well. And the OG pings. It's been a questionable split for them. They might actually end up in, well, they will end up in 5th place. I was going to say last, but they beat Paris Saint-Germain, so they have the head-to-head. It will be a 5th place ahead of PSG, and both of them will be fighting off in the CSQ in the start of 2018.
Oh, Dan, he wants to make this Zed work. He only had a longsword and a cloth armor for damage. I mean, you think of Zed as this all-in carry. He can be in the mid lane. You look at this replay, flash body slam, pretty easy, and then you think, hang on a second, what's that? Oh, it's a Galio. Execute Zani because he took tower aggro, and then Dan falls to Thal. Now they just extend their early game gold lead and kill lead. 3,000 at 8 minutes. All looking too fine and dandy for RB right now. And do you think is this Zed is this all-in carry that can burst you at level 6, but when you've only got a longsword under your belt, that death mark is doing almost no damage unless he can stick to you until the death mark actually pops. Now Mujin, look at the small invade here.
Doesn't quite manage to get the steal. Starlet's there as well. Magic Felix comes across just to help out his jungler. It looks like it's going to be the Phage build from Dan. Could be a Trinity Force top lane Zed, something we have seen before. Could of course be building up the, I was going to say Frozen Mana, but that doesn't build out of Phage anymore. Doom's Fist is where that comes from. It's probably going to be Trinity Force top lane.
Black Cleaver.
Black Cleaver is a possibility as well. Do you want that?
Possibly not. I mean, in an ideal world, Dan would go something like Ghostblade or Blade of the Ruined King, but at the moment he doesn't think that's a real possibility, so Trinity Force is definitely going to be the eyes-on item for him. Thal just completely ignoring him now that he's got Ninja Tab Eyes, and that's, again, the item that will counter most AD Assassins, not on 7.14. If you've not played that patch, don't.
Wait until the hotfix is enough played.
Oh my goodness. Or just ban away. You've got an individual ban now, so you can just ban away.
What do you ban away?
Zed, then just spam in chat.
Talon, even Lee Sin can build Dusk
Yeah,
Blade. It's
absolutely.
disgusting.
Even Jin. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
that.
the 4th shot Jins where you just kill someone from 100 to 0
Yep.
with just one auto attack.
He'll be doing 90% of Caitlyn's health. It's pretty gross.
It's especially since I think it's patch 7.15 is World's Balance patch as well. So like we've only got a patch to sort out the problems that are happening on 7.14, and RB don't even need a patch to prove that they are causing problems for Origin here. They are 4 kills ahead, 4,000 gold ahead as well, only 10 minutes in. Illusionist and Neon have come up towards the top lane. But we do see Kasing waiting in the wings, and here comes
in.
the jump in. Illusion is going to jump back, and now Kasing is going to jump straight onto Neon. Zani's waiting around the corner. Glacial Fissure, Illusionist with the charm. The taunt comes out. Tal's going to join the fray. Already they've killed Neon, and they're looking for more. Justice punch to the back. Zani been in a lot of bar brawls before, and he can knock them back with the explosive cast. Teleport's going to join the fight now as Dan tries to get in. The hero's entrance jumps on to Tal. Skarlet tries to Plasma Fission. Is away to a kill, cannot quite get it. And RB are just too far ahead. Organic Disintegration Ray is not enough. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Skarlet is split pushing. With Muujin, they will get another tower out of this. And actually, if RB can defend the top side here, they're on track for a perfect game.
I cannot believe Muujin. Oh, Illusionist! Oh, I thought he was getting turret aggro. That actually gave me a little mini heart attack, but the turret at tier 2 in the bottom lane will go down. Cannot believe Muujin and Cedrian actually managed to get that. Well, because Dan actually teleported to the top side to try and find a kill. That was the ending result. And Dan, this famous split pusher, was only ahead 10 Cedrian.
Neon has no flash and no heal.
He can just walk up to him. He's got a BF sword. Oh, Kasing. Oh, well,
it helps when your support's on the other side as well. We were just like, oh yeah, he can just walk up to him. He'll definitely be able to chase him. Well, there's a trap. There's a headshot. There's another. And there's the kill.
She had taunted at the end there. He knew he was dead. Oh my goodness. It's all unraveling now for OG. We said they might not take it as seriously, but RB are definitely doing that. I mean, what can you really say about OG's composition? I wanted to kind of outline their win condition, but their win condition would be to win all lanes and then go from there. The Zed can be quite a monster, but even with this Galio, it would have been very hard to win. He's actually got Adaptive Helm first as well.
Yes.
To supplement the damage reduction up against Skarlet. Thank you for the confirmation. And against Dan's Shurikens.
Yeah, it's against abilities. I guess the Plasma Fission is really what you're using it against mostly. Tectonic Rift as well can be spammed. So it does reduce the damage you're going to take. You do see Tal looking towards a Yumu's of his own. Dan's on his way up towards top as well. Illusionist doing a cool Rakan animation cancel there. So if you use your grand entrance, the W, and then immediately back, you cancel the animation. It gives you a little bit speedier mobility. You can also semi-cancel it with Q, but you get the knock-up if you cancel with Q, and you don't if you cancel it with your back animation. So if you're running away, press B. If you're running towards them, press Q.
Ah. See, Rakan's been out for long enough now that people are discovering these finesses of this champion, which just honestly makes them stronger, especially ability animation cancels. On someone like a Rakan, it would be quite important. Herald is going to get opened up. I believe Kasing actually took that Herald.
He did.
Oh, okay.
It kind of makes sense. Like, he's the one roaming the most at the moment. So instead of
you'll see a lot of supports do that.
You've got a 5-man stack in the mid lane. RB can look for more than one tower here. It will be their 4th of the game if they can get this tier 2. And they'll have cracked the entire bottom side of the map. In fact, I was going to say they could look for even more. I don't think they will. I think they'll settle at the tier 2. They might try and just let the Herald get its final shot in here. It looks like OG are going to be able to stop it. Reduce the damage by hitting the eye at the back, which is always important. Dan, can they get here in time? Dan's actually going to back. Still perfect game on the cards for RB. Would be the 2nd perfect game we have had this Challenger Series split. And both of them have been against Origin.
Dan doing what he loves best. That is split pushing.
He's about to do something else he's done a lot this Challenger Series.
Well, he's trying to get away because Thing's going to be there.
Flash away. There is a tower there. And he does escape.
Not for long, as 4 members of RB are going to rotate. But OG do sense this and are going to send Zani and Neon up towards the top side.
The thing is about this, though, OG have sent people to answer each of the last rotations. Hasn't really done much for them. They've still just lost the towers. And so RB, with a 2-man stack up towards the top side, are fighting into 3 members of OG, and the OG members have to back away.
Yeah, and the reason for that is solely on this Caitlyn. You put the traps down, it's extremely hard to wave clear, and what wave clear do they have? Zani can send out a barrel, which is great, because you can damage the front line, you can damage the back line, fantastic, but the problem is, Cedrian's going to be sitting there free hitting, good luck setting up because there's traps. Neon has to actually get close to get a lot of spears in to rend a lot of the minions away, so in essence, they can 2v3, and you could argue that OG don't actually want to fight these turrets. They want to be able to find pickoffs elsewhere using Dan as a flank or even Zani as a flank. You don't want to fight them where RB are best, which is under the turrets actually sieging. So we'll see if OG want to change their game plan up at all. Caulfield's Warhammer has actually been finished for Dan.
So it could just be the Phage was kind of a laning item.
Yep.
He says, I needed a bit more health in the lane, need a little bit of rage, helps me out a little bit, so now he can go towards the Yumu's Ghostblade.
Yeah, the speed up against the Jace matchup in particular, it was actually quite pinnacle for him. To get a bit more mobility away from the Jace was quite important, so you are right in saying that it was just for the laning phase. Probably going to go for something like a Ghostblade now with that extra longsword in his inventory. But still going to be split pushing. And I say split pushing, more defending waves. There's no real split push going on right now. Fate's Call from Neon isn't going to find anybody.
I think sometimes OG at the moment just like using skills to remember what they do because they haven't been able to actually take the fight. So it's just like, oh, so that's the animation cancel by the way on the W. Magic Phoenix going to flash in, double taunt. Here come the rest of RB. Neon's dead. Tile takes him out. Illusionist flashes the wall and gets himself to safety for the time being. There's a collapse happening as Muujin's coming in from the other side. He catches onto Zani, but he needs to be careful. He could be first blood for the side of OG. He flashes Hero's entrance. Keeps him alive, just about. And that is going to be a dead Gragas as well. RB 8-0 up, 10,000 gold in the lead, 17 minutes in. Magic Felix looking for the chase. Kasing on his way as well. Magic Felix didn't read the patch notes. You can't jump over walls with the Justice Punch and tried to skim around the side of that one.
Well, he's got the Dark Seal, and that's what's important. I'm actually quite surprised he didn't go Roa this game, in all honesty. Just being a more of a, you could argue, relaxed game. Could argue a lot of things.
It's still a bit like, you can have a relaxed game, but what's the point building badly?
Yeah,
Rod of Ages is not a good build on Galio. It doesn't give you what it's meant to get, like what you want.
It's true,
you can wave clear it with Winds of War anyway. And you just want the tankiness. Like that's where your strength comes from. Your base stats are strong enough and your percentage health damage is strong enough that you do not need to build AP on Galio to be effective.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, but still in the same regard, more AP is always fun on someone that has AP.
Well, then why didn't he just build Rod of Ages? Exactly. Not Rod of Ages, Rabadon's Deathcap. If you want more AP, you might as well just build Deathcap.
Could do, yeah.
I do want to come back to the sort of picks and bans discussion we were having as to whether RB needed to play seriously. I think it's a good reflection on them that here Origin haven't picked an incredibly cohesive composition, but they also haven't played awfully. They haven't like been glaring errors that OG have made that RB have capitalized on. Instead, RB have played around vision. They've been able to make these picks in certain situations and then snowball the lead from there. It hasn't been OG gifting them the game. RB instead have wrapped it up in a bow. Kasing especially has delivered them this present.
Well, keeping up appearances, like you said, is very important. Just make sure that enemy teams know you're very serious in coming into this one.
And it's a composition that doesn't give away a lot from RB as well.
Yeah.
We saw Magic Felix on this Galio a few times in the first few weeks. Tarl's Jace everyone knows about.
Yeah. Well, Sedrin, I mean, any AD carry at the moment is probably worth banning. Caitlyn more so over anybody else. So again, playing that isn't too much of a surprise. And like we said, they're not going to pull out anything too left field because that would give away a lot of information to other teams. Maybe their coach said, okay, so we can play a couple of big picks we've been practicing in scrimmage, but at the end of the day, if you do, Giants and Schalke are going to look at that and go, oh, we can actually ban those away because that composition does look very strong and you've clearly practiced that a lot as well. But that comes down to scrim environments in that situation. And now let's look at the overall where RB sitting are right now. You can see the vision line again, once more being pushed up by them over on the red side jungle of OG, because that Baron is going to come up in 19 seconds. They can leave Dan to split push all he wants, but the team fights is exactly where RB do favor. They do want to put themselves in these team fight situations.
And I think Tal can deal with the split of Dan. Has a Sheen of his own alongside a Phage, is half an item ahead or so. About 1,050 gold, you would say, with a Sheen costing about that much. In fact, exactly that much. You can't haggle at the shop, although you might be able to in the future. The Runes and Masteries changes. I think there's one where you can go into debt and then buy back later on.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think the Meteor one that I saw on Reddit is very, very intriguing. Baron has been started by RB. I'm not. I think there's like so much happening.
Oh.
The steal doesn't quite connect from Zani. He's flashed in. He's not going to get to be able to survive this. Deathmark onto Muujin. Will he survive? Yes, he will. And here comes Tal. Dan. He's dead. Ace in the Hole is going to connect on to Scarlet. And that is another kill for him. 11-0 in favor of RB. 6 towers to 2. The TP comes in. They've got a Baron. They've got 2 dragons.
Neon.
And they've got Neon caught out. The shield of Durand into the Winds of War. That's why you don't need a Rod of Ages. You have enough damage anyway. RB are going to get the second perfect game of the split. And once again, it's going to be against Origen.
Well, they're definitely looking for it. They want to strive for it, get another check mark on that board. Just looking to maybe just to end the game here. I mean, you've got Cedrian pushing in the mid lane as well. They're going to at least secure 2 inhibitors off this 1 Baron buff. And just pushing in. You have 4 seconds on Scarlet, 9 seconds on Neon. So that's going to be an easy 2 inhib.
If RB are playing the way they have done the rest of the game, they back off after this inhib. And they just say, fine, okay, we'll wait, we'll push in. And that's the intelligent way to play. It's not the most fun way to play. I've played enough solo queue to know the most fun way to play is throw right here and then continue to throw until you lose the game.
That is the worst possible. It
happens all the time in solo queue.
Exactly, yeah. It's the point of the game where you're like, oh yes, okay,
everyone
we
kind of relaxes.
Boys.
Everyone
like,
relaxes.
Oh, it's great.
Like, oh yeah, we took
look.
it here, it's fine.
Oh, this person stepped up. Oh, maybe we can jostle with them a little bit, and then you realise it's past 20 minutes, home guards, and everybody runs at you, and there's a Galio on your face. You're like, oh, okay. Well, probably shouldn't have overstayed.
Getting a Galio on your face is always a worry. There are 10 stacks on that Darksteel, Magifelix. See, this is what you do if you want the AP that we were talking about, Jaws. Get the Darksteel, get it fully stacked, and then Medgiant.
Oh, yes.
Right off the top of it. That's
there
how you get it. RB, flying high at the moment. Not really many ways that OG can answer them. It's a game where you look at it and you say, how are they going to get back into it? And the single monosyllabic answer that comes back is no.
Yeah.
I also phrased that question wrong. See, I said, how are they going to get back into it? And then I said no, which doesn't make any sense as an answer, which is why I really slowed down, because I was trying to work out another monosyllabic way of phrasing it.
Well, RB are just going to phrase it like this. We're going to take all your turrets, we're going to take all your inhibs, and we're going to take the game off you. Looking to be a clean game thus far. 17,000 in the lead for them.
17,000, 23 minutes in is an
almost
absolutely devastating. Yeah, it's almost 1,000 a minute in gold.
Pretty gross.
It is destructive, and once again the tower falls. Inhib is going to go very shortly after. OG fall out of Challenger Series. Crash out of Challenger Series, not even with a bang, but with a whimper. They will be perfect gamed by Team RB, who are going to playoffs, who will face off against Schalke 04 in just a couple of weeks' time. And RB are doing what PSG were not able to do. They have a one-year plan. They're going to try and get to the LCS. OG are trying to stop them, but it's too little, too late. RB will take the Nexus, they will take the series, and they will take perhaps the last breath of hope away from any Origen fans that are left.